Let us get started with the React Native over here, and we will create a native app for our Android as well as the iOS using the React Native over here. And I will go to the get started over here, and we'll try to build our first app using the React Native over here. There are two ways to get started with the React Native. One is using the Expo Go, and the next is the React Native CLI. For this course, to get started quickly, we'll be using the Expo Go over here, and with this it will be much easier and quicker to get started. However, if you are already familiar with the app development, you can go with the React Native CLI over here. And for that, you need to install all of those like the Xcode and Studio and all of those other stuff. But let us go and see how we can use the Expo Go over here to create a React Native over here. And there's a simple command that we can use, which is of the npx create expo app and then the project name over here. Before we get started, we have to download and install few of the software over here, one each of the Node. So if you go over here, just type the node.js and it will take you to the node.js node.js.org, and just select your preferred the version over here. So this is the LTS, which is of the long-term support over here, 20.10.0, which is of the recommended for most of the users. But if you want to go with the current version, 21.5.0 is the one. But I have already downloaded the 20.0 over here, and what you have to do is you have to just double click on that if you are on Windows. I'm currently using the Windows over here, and just click on next, and I have already installed it, and that's why it's giving me to change or do something over here. And I'll just go and click on change over here and just click on next. And if you want to automatically install the necessary tools, this will also install the Chocolatey for the Windows, right? And you can just go and click on select that one and click next. I'll just leave on as a default one, and once this is done, right, so I'll just go back to the terminal over here, and I'll just try to check the node version. So node -version, version, and I get that particular version over here, which means that I have successfully installed the node over here. And once that is done, next is you can install the VS Code if you haven't downloaded and installed that one. If you are the first time app developer, you can just go to the VS Code over here, and it will take you to the Visual Studio Code. And since this is the beginner friendly course, I will try to show you how to download this particular VS Code, right? And download the free version from here, and it will get a download for you. So I'll just go and cancel this one, right? I have already downloaded that over here, and I have you can just go and double click on that one, and it should pop up this one, and just click on next, and just go and select all of this and click on next, and then the install over here. And I have already installed that one. So if you take a look, I have already installed that one, so that's cool. So the next step will be to, if you want to run on the Illuminator, if you are on the Windows, you can download the Android Studio. But if you are on the Mac, you can download both of the Android Studio as well as the Xcode, which will be used for the iOS. And if you are on the Linux, you can also use the Android Studio as well. So for that, you can just go to the let me go to the Android STU, the iOS Studio over here, and you can just go to download Android Studio. And you should download the current version of the Android Studio, right? And I have already downloaded that one as well over here. and you can just click on this one and you just have to accept it and download that particular version, right? So 2023.1.1 for Windows. And once you have downloaded that, we are good to go. So you can just install that one, right? So it will take a bit of time if you haven't installed that one. I'll just try to go and show you how you can install it over here. And you can just click on the yes over here, and let's try to install it over here. Just click on next, and the allow install the Android Studio as well as the Android virtual device. So this virtual device is the illuminator that we are going to use later to deploy our apps over here. So we will build our apps using the React Native, and we can install it in our virtual device. So you don't need an actual device, but if you have an actual device, that's also perfectly fine. So I'll just let's create the shortcut. That should be fine, and let's wait for this one to complete over here. And let's click on the next from here and start the Android Studio from here. Let's wait for it to get started over here, and let's click on do not import the settings. Just click on OK, and let's wait for it to complete over here. So I guess it will take a couple of time over here, and from here we'll just select don't send any of the user statics to the Google over here, but if you want, you can just send it over here. So it's going to download some of the required tools over here, or the SDKs, and we'll just click on the next from here, and I'll just click on the standard, and the Studio will be installed with the most common setting and then the option recommended for the most of the user. But if you want to go custom, you can just click on custom and then select the required all of the required things that you require over here. You can change the SDK location and the other stuff over here. But let's get started with the standard over here, so it will be much easier for you to follow if you are just installing it for the first time over here. Just click on the next over here, and it requires to download all of this, which is the total of the 1.94 GB over here. Just click on next, and I will go and accept that all of those, and also I need to accept for this one as well, I guess. And you should not have the red check mark over here, so now it looks good over here. So we are going to install all of those. So just click on this, and it's going to take, I guess, a few minutes depending on your internet connection, how fast it can download the required file over here. So let's wait for this to complete over here. And once the installation is done, what we can do is it will open up this particular window for you, and we need to start the virtual device over here. So we are not going to create any project from here, but we'll go to the more action from here, and we will go and select the virtual device manager from here. And once you select that one, it will open up the virtual device manager over here, and you will get by default one of the device created for you. So this is the Android virtual device created for you. You can also go and add a new one from here and select the required configuration, but we are not going to use that one. We will be using a default one, and you can just click on this particular play button over here, and it will go and start that particular device for you. As you can see, it is starting up, and it will take a couple of the minutes, and depending on your PC configuration, it will take time. So let us wait for this one to complete over here. Once this installation or the startup is going on, what we'll do is we will open up our VS Code over here, and let us go and add some of the extension that we require over here. So let's go and open up our VS Code over here, and let us go to the extension over here. So just click on this one, and we will search for some of the extension over here that we require over here. First is the we'll search for the React, right? React Native, React Native over here, and we'll go and install some of the extension that we require over here. So let's search for some of the extension over here, and let me select. I will be selecting this particular React Native tools from the Microsoft itself, and let us go and install that one. And as well as I'll select this one, which is of the ES7 React Native and Redux React Native snippets over here. So this will help us to do some code snippet over here, and just go and install this one as well over here. And that should be good enough, I guess. For now we'll be just using it to extension over here, but later if we require, we'll come back and install more over here. So I'll just close the VS Code for now. And once your device is running over here, then what we'll do is we'll go back to our VS Code over here, and let's go and open up the new folder from here, and let's go to the desktop over here, and let's create a new folder. I'll just call it one as a React Native, and let's call this one as a project project over here. And once we have that, just create that particular folder, and I'll open that particular folder over here. So we have a React Native project folder, and inside this I'll just go and create a one more folder that will be of the, let's say, a counter app over here. And what I can do is I'll just go and open the integrated, right click and open an integrated terminal over here, and let's go and open up that over here, and let me try to arrange this one. And here what we need to do is npx, right? So, and then we have to type some command, create dash, and then the expo dash the app. So npx create expo app, and since we are already inside this particular counter app, we will be using the same directory. So that's why I'll provide the dot over here, which will use the current directory over here. And just hit the enter, and it is locating the project file. So let me just go and open up, and now it's going to install all of the required file for us. Make sure you have installed the node.js over here, and your npm command is working fine. The installation has been done over here, and we'll go and see what we have over here. We have the counter app, and all of these files have been installed. So later we'll go and look into all of this, but for now what we need to do is we need to go and run that particular app, right? So we will just go and say npx, right, expo start over here, and this should start the Expo project over here. So using Expo grow over here, and Watchman would like to access the file on the desktop folder, so I'll just go and allow that one for now. And now you can see that we have some of the command that we can run. So if I want to open up this particular app on the Android device, I can just type A over here, and then if I want to run on the iOS device, I can just type I over here, and I can just run the open debugger, reload the app, and toggle the menu, and all of this information over here. So if you have this, also generates the QR code over here if you take a look, right? And if you have the real device, you can just go and scan this particular QR code over here, and it will go and install the Expo Go app. And also it's going to run that particular you will get all of the information about the app, so you can reload the app, you can launch the different apps. So you just need to install that particular Expo Go app from the App Center or your iOS app store over there. But for now we will be using a virtual device over here, that's why we are going to type the A over here, and it's going to open the app on the Android device. Now you can see, and if you are running for the first time, it will go and install the Expo Go. And to run that one, make sure this particular virtual device has the look. If you go and let's go and try to create the new device over here, and you have to take a look over here, Google Play, right? This is the Google Play Store over here. So the Play Store, you need to create a device with this particular icon to install that particular Expo Go app over there. Just cancel this one, and now you can see your first application is running over here. Next is what we need to do is we need to build a counter app over here. So let's go to our app.js over here, and currently we have all of these apps over here, and we will slowly go and explain all of this. But for now what we will do is we'll just make use of this one, and I'll just go and remove all of this from here. So let's just try to remove all of this from here, and for now let's just keep this style so over here. And what we'll do is we need to create a two button over here, then that button we can increment or decrement. So we haven't imported the button over here, so I can just go and type the button over here, and once we import that we are going to use the button button over here, right? And this button we need to type the title, and title will be of the increment. So now you can see it is hot reloaded over here, and we'll see the increment button. And next we'll also create the another button over here, and that button will be of the title of the decrement over here. So we got that, and in the between we will add some space over here. So I'll just add the view over here, and with this view I'll just give the spacing of the, let's say 8 over here. I guess that should be fine. So I'll just put some style, and don't worry about the style and all of the stuff. We will later and go and see what that style and all other stuff. But for now just remember this is something like a CSS styling. It's not actually a CSS, but you can just think of something like a CSS or the style. And if you are coming from the Flutter, you can just imagine that we are adding some of the properties to our element over here. So this is of the height. We give the this something like a 8 pixel over here. In the Flutter we give a size box of the height of the 8. We are something similar we are doing over here with the style property over here. So now we have some style over here, which is of increment and then the decrement over here. And we'll also add one more view over here, or let's add the text. Let's add the text over here. So this is text. This is the text element that we have over here, and we are going to just go and instead of writing a hello world over here, I guess we will output the counter over here, right? So currently we don't have that, but let's just keep it as over here, and we'll just go and add some style over here. And currently we don't have any style, so what we'll do is we'll just go and create that particular style over here. For that you can either go and add the inline style over here, or you can create the style over here. Let's go and add the inline style first of all over here. So for that I need to put a double curly brace over here, and font size I'll just give as a 24 for now. And if you want you can add some more, like let's say if I want to add a font weight over here, and font weight I'll just give a bold over here for now. So now we have a simple style, and later we'll try to extract it to over style over here, and for that we'll do it on the later stage. And I'll just go and add a new view over here, and with this view I'm just going to add a style of the height of the 8 again. So we got some padding over here, and we look good over here. And the next is we will create a counter over here that we are going to use it over here. So let's go and add that. I'll go and use the use state over here, and use state from the React. I'll just import that one. You can see that it imported the use state from the React. And for that let's go and add the default value of the use state will be 0, and I need to create a variable over here, or let's create the array. One will be of the count, and another one will be of the set count. So using the count we can get that particular state value over here, and then using the set count we can set that particular value, whether we can increment or decrement that value. So this is something like this is a use state is a hook, And you can imagine, if you are coming from the Flutter, you can think something like this is of the set state or something over here, right? So what we'll do over here is we'll create a function over here, and then function will be of the increment, right? So let's have this one in the uppercase, which is of the increment. And here we are going to set the count over here. So count will be of the count plus 1 over here. And next we will have the another function over here that will be of the decrement over here. And we are not going to take any branch for now, so we are going to just set the state over here, or set the count state, which will be of the current value minus the 1 over here. And once we have that, these two particular function, one is to decrement and one is to increment, what we'll do is we'll go to our button over here, and let's go and add our the unpress over here. So unpress, we are going to call the increment from here, and the next will be on press over here, and on press will be of the decrement over here. So now we have an option to increment and decrement that particular counter. And in this particular style, so this particular value, hello world, will replace it with the count over here, and now we got that particular value of the 0. So let's go and increment that one over here, and once I click that one, you can see it is incrementing, and once you click on this one, it's going to decrease that one. So this is our first React Native app, a counter app that we built over here, and I hope you got the point and you got the idea how to create your first app using the React Native. In our coming lecture, we will be adding more of the options over here, and for now we will stop it over here, and in the next lecture we'll come back and we'll build some more apps over here. And don't worry about all of these styles and then the other stuff, like what are these over here and what is the set state. We will be covering up in our coming up lecture. We will be building much more larger application, and at that time we will slowly pick up what all of this mean. But for now, just remember that's views, text, and these are some of the elements that we basically use. Like if you are coming from the Flutter background, these are you can just think this one as a container. This is of the text widget, this is of the container widget, this is of the button widget, right? And all of this stuff, right? So and these are normal functions that we usually set in our Flutter application, as well as you can think this one as a set state over here, where we are setting the count value over here. So just for that, and remember that, and we'll cover these styles on the later stage, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.